by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky.
Welcome to the Professional Stepdad Show. I'm your host, Franco Zavala. This is episode 188. It is Tuesday morning. Hope everybody's doing okay. Today's episode is going to be focused specifically on trying to overcome setbacks and things that aren't working out when it comes to, how you're being effective or how you are dealing with certain problems and situations within your blended family. Temporary setbacks, temporary failures, temporary defeats, they are not permanent. One of the biggest concerns that, I have in general when it comes to setbacks, when it comes to missing out or losing or things didn't work out, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a connection with the kids, it's important to remember that everything that you're doing right now, wherever you find yourself in your blended journey, whatever you're doing right now, if it's not working, it doesn't mean it's over. Like I say, temporary is not permanent. But if you have not done a considerable amount of self-work, if you have not done a considerable amount of reflection, self-reflection, journaling, like I tell you guys to do, when defeat finds you, when failures come your way, it's going to be hard to overcome those failures. It's going to be hard to overcome the setbacks because you haven't properly trained your mind to kind of think like how Ted Lasso says, right? What's the animal with the shortest memory? It's a goldfish. Meaning you have to move on. You have to continue to move forward. If you stay stuck or if you begin to backtrack, you can really lose momentum as a stepdad. And that's something that I don't want for any of you. I want each and every one of you, whether it's a small win or a big win, to continue to keep moving forward. So when I say things like, temporary is not permanent, I mean that the best way I can say it. Temporary defeats, temporary setbacks, they're not permanent setbacks. That doesn't mean that it's going to define your journey and your role within your blended family. But like I say, if you're not doing the necessary work, if you haven't sat down and read books and really did the self-analysis, it's going to be hard to overcome those setbacks. And then they're going to define you. Then you're going to use them as an excuse on the reason why things did not work out for you. I am a firm believer, stepdads, that there are plenty of families that need men like us or have had men like us in their life that could have had such a positive impact and influence, but because they didn't properly train their conscious and subconscious mind, they didn't properly train the way they react and act to situations, and because they got hit in the face with a temporary defeat, they stopped, they walked away, they moved on, they made excuses, they decided that it wasn't worth the time, energy, and effort. And because of that, the kids miss out. Because of that, mom misses out on what a relationship could have been. And I guess the reason I'm saying that, guys, is because for me specifically as a stepdad, when I get hit with defeats, when I get hit with failure, I tend, even though I've been doing self-study for this so long, I tend to internalize it, and I tend to not share and communicate with my wife. I not share and communicate with you guys on the platforms that I can, because I believe, I feel like, I can handle this because I've been doing it for so long and I've been doing self-study for so long that this shouldn't be a problem. And it is. And the problem that I'm having, and the problem that most of you are going to have, is I allow the temporary defeat in the moment to define my moment, to define my family, to define where I find myself in my blended journey. And that's not what that means. Temporary defeat is not permanent. It just isn't. Because if you can sit down and you can meditate on it, you can think about it, and you can come up with creative ways around it, your temporary defeat, not only will it not be permanent, but it'll fly by so quick that you'll have a hard time remembering exactly what happened to you. But if you dwell on it, if you allow it to control you, if you allow it to control your emotions and how you react with the kids and your wife and your friends, then it will eventually consume you, and then you, again, will walk away. You will make, and then you will, like I say, you will use that excuse as like your staple when you tell people about, oh, I've been in a blended family before. Let me tell you exactly how it went. And then you discourage possible, stepdads that could influence positively other stepfamilies because of your journey and what you went through and how you decided to quit. So I want you to think about this for a second. What temporary defeat are you experiencing right now? What temporary failure are you experiencing right now that you can look at and you can dissect and you can understand and realize that it's not permanent? What temporary defeat? Which way how can you spin this, right? How can you use this defeat as fuel to better yourself, better your kids, better your family, all of it? And if you don't, like I said, stepdads, you're going to spiral, and you'll spiral quick, because it's a lot easier to recall, memory-wise, it's a lot easier to recall things, negative things that didn't work, things that didn't go your way, fights that you got into, than it is to recall something positive that happened, in the little moments of life. And that's really what this is about. We're trying to stack up little wins, and through our journey, we're trying to stack up little wins that equal a smile, a hug, a thank you, that equal respect, trust, honesty, care, love. And every once in a while, you'll hit a home run. Every once in a while, something big will happen. Like for me, it was when my oldest daughter, who I had the hardest time with when it came to acceptance, accepted me. That was my home run. It took, 6 years to get there. But I wasn't expecting it, right? Because I was too busy stacking up the little wins. And I wasn't out there searching for the home run. I wasn't out there searching for the big win. The big win was the fact that I stayed. The big win was the fact that I decided to read, and I decided to write, and I decided to listen, and I decided to record, and I decided to talk. Those were the big wins for me. Those are big wins in the moments because they help strengthen my mind. They help strengthen, like people say in church, they help strengthen my testimony as a stepdad, and why this journey and why doing this job is not a thankless job. You ever hear that? Being a step parent is a thankless job. No, it's not. And whoever says that is a fucking idiot. Or they went through an experience, hear me out, right? They went through an experience, their temporary defeat became their identity. They allowed it to be permanent, and then they tried to poison the well. Don't listen to people like that. Being a stepdad is not thankless. It's just not. I get thanked all the time. Most important though, I don't know a way to say around this, but I thank myself, right? Thank you for staying in it. Thank you for loving. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you for changing. Thank you for learning. Thank you for failing. Thank you for winning. So it's not a thankless job. And anybody that says anything different is a fucking moron. And you can go ahead and tell them to come talk to me, and I'll tell them straight to their face. So stepdads, just remember, wherever you find yourself, right? Maybe everything's going great. Maybe everything is just, you're knocking it out of the park. You're getting thousands of wins, but you are gonna hit defeat. You're gonna have setbacks. But remember, temporary is not permanent, and it never will be. So continue to march forward. Continue to do what you got to do, stepdads, and remember that you are valued. You are worth it, and it is not some sort of a job that is thankless. This is a job that can fill your heart, mind, body, soul. And I don't even like to use the word job, because it's kind of implies that, I've got to clock in every day and I get to clock out at some day. No, it's being a parent, being an influencer, being a mentor, a teacher, a good father, a good friend, a good husband. So temporary is just not permanent. All right, gentlemen, that's episode 188 of the show. Jeez, I can't talk. Thank you guys very much once again for joining me. Next episode will be out on Thursday. I really appreciate it, and I'm just so grateful for everybody that listens to the show, shares the show, watches the show, sends me messages. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. And like I said before, I'm going to be sharing a lot of what's been going on in my personal journey that has become defeats and failures, and how I'm using them to win and to move forward. Until next time, be well. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Listen, if you know a stepdad who is in need of any of this information, do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button and share this episode with them as fast as possible. Did you do it? Okay, you did it. You hit this. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.